Hey, welcome to the Crappie Anglers of Texas June meeting. First thing, I'd like to welcome any new members that we have that joined tonight. Would you please stand to be recognized? Any new members? Okay, stay standing up. If you weren't at the, I forgot what meeting it was, but anyway, where we had the little light and all when we introduced our Interstate Battery sponsor, they gave us a little keychain with a light. If you haven't received that, please see Mackie raise your hand. Get one from him. This is Interstate Battery. They're one of our newer sponsors. They have a VIP program, and this is what gets you your big discount. And I've heard a lot of good things from my members who have already taken advantage of using Interstate Battery with Dustin over there. So can I have a testimonial?
Okay.
Oh, I just asked for one. Charles House. Stand up and please tell everybody.
Right at the Louisville tournament, I lost all 3 batteries.
Dead in the water, Charles.
Dead in the water, Charles. That's always. Well, you know what the heck? It's like J-Don usually says. He says, you know, if I'm looking for bad luck, guys, I look at you. But I did right after that, and we got these little keychains, and I went over there the next week and got 3 batteries, and it saved me around between $70 and $80.
Okay. Now we come to the section of the seminar, and we have our own member, and I'm proud to say the Mississippi State Champion for Crappie Masters, Fred Dooley. But before Fred, you come up here, I'd like to call upon Paulo Beer to do a proper introduction, if you would, sir.
I've known Freddie for a good long time now. We fished against each other all over the country. Freddie's one of the nicest, most honest people you'll ever meet in your life. He will go out of his way not to tell you everything, but he will not lie to you. I promise. He's not going to tell you everything, but he'll go around it, make you feel like you got a good deal out of it. He's like a used car lot salesman over there. Freddie, he won 2 Crappie USA tournaments back to back this year. He won 2 of them, and then he turns around and he goes all over the place and Crappie Masters getting money. He's probably already won over at least $10,000 or $12,000 this year. My friend, come on up and talk about this lake. You're going to kick their butt.
I look like I'm nervous. I am. This time and one more time, because twice I've done this. So, my name is Fred Dooley. I live at Hughes Springs, Texas. I thank the Lord every day, you know, for my health and because He let me live where I live. I love to crappie fish. I just can't, you know, I can't explain how well I love it. But I have 2 friends back here, Dwayne Barthol on the left. He's a local guy from Hughes Springs, and Frank Roberts there on the right. Now, Frank lives in Missouri. And Frank's my bodyguard and what have you. But anyway, I'm sure you've heard the story about we were at Grenada, Mississippi this year. And of course there was a lot of the big boys there, and we fished it before. And last year in the Classic we were number 13 the first day, but the second day we couldn't do any good. We just could not catch a big fish. So this year, the first day, well, we came to the weigh-in, and we knew we had some decent fish, but we figured we had 13, maybe 14 pounds. Well, when we got there and they weighed in, it clicked up to 1605, 7 fish. So, and we kind of looked at each other, you know. And anyway, the next day we go out, and it was just unbelievable. We were throwing the pre-fishing on the Thursday. I caught one that weighed 3 pounds. We weighed him on 3 sets of scales. And when y'all come down to Lake the Pines, if you'll come to the house to eat, I'll show you that fish. You won't believe it. But anyway, so we next morning went back to the same spot, and we worked 200 yards from the boat ramp. Locals by the hundreds, not a tournament fisherman came around us, not one. And fishing in about 2.5 foot of water, and we were trolling. And I was going to show you the jig, the color jig I was using. Now, of course, the water was muddy. You just can't believe how muddy the water was. And first rattle out of the box, Frank said, "I got a big one." and we had 2 jigs on. We had the top jig was just barely on the water. The lower jig was about 18 inches on the water. And you'd see them old big fish hit that top jig, and you'd never catch one on the top jig. He'd hit it and just roll and leave, and directly he'd hit that bottom jig. But Frank said, I got a big one. And anyway, we were throwing back fish all day long. I don't know what I've done. We were throwing back fish all day long that weighed 2.5 pounds. So when we, you know,
That's all they made.
we got ready to leave. We quit an hour early because we scared the locals were going to tie us up on the boat ramp. They had all those people up there fish in a little 10 or 12 foot John boat, humped up on the front seat with a trolling motor. Every one of them fish that way, and they go right up in that brush, and that's how they fish. So we loaded out about an hour early, and you were allowed to have 8 fish in the boat. You put one in the live, you cull in the live well by itself, and you put the other 7 in another live well. So the first day we were tied for 10th place. So the second day, you come to the weigh-in, you have to weigh in last. 10th place, when you get down to the last 10, the top 10, 10th place weighs in first. And they have 2 chairs they call the hot seats. So we got there, and we were the first ones there because we got there an hour early. And we done stopped and weighed them fish on my scale. 2 pounds, 9 ounces, every one of them looked the same. Well, when they put them things on the scale, that thing kicked up to 21 pounds, but it dropped down to $18.99. We had 7 that weighed $18.99 that second day. And every one of them were the same size. I mean, within an ounce of each other. So we really had a good time out of that. That's one of the best times I ever had fishing. But I caught those things. If y'all want to look at it, that's called a Captain Coleman glow jig. But I'm sure that you can take that rocky top jig, that color in muddy water, and do the same thing with it. Now, I'm going to show you what I fish with. I don't believe you got to have a $150 rod and a $100 reel to fish. I fish with a cheap fly rod. And that's all, and the reason I do because I have arthritis so bad. But I'm going to show you what, if you want to look at it, kind of what I fish with on Lake Pine. Now that don't look like much, does it? But I can tell you for sure, I've caught, Frank and I went to Lone Star Lake yesterday afternoon, which is right there at the Pines. And of course I've got brush in it, it's a small lake. I worked till 5 o'clock. We got there a few minutes after 5, fished till 7:30, and we caught 76. And a lot of them were big, you know, pound and a half, pound 3/4 white crappie. I'll tell you this, on Lake of the Pines, Saturday was 2 weeks ago. My neighbor, a young guy there, we went down there and we were just going to fish. We didn't keep any fish, we just fished a spot here. And when I quit counting, we had caught 87. Now, I don't think that you got a troll in Lake of the Pines to catch your fish. I think in that clear water, I think you're better off diving. So, anybody else? I enjoyed it. God bless you.
Fred's quite a gentleman, and we appreciate you sharing those more than Paul wanted tidbits.
Freddie, you killed it.